Welcome to this training video for how to complete the MTSS Go project initial screener for students. And in this video we're hoping to address any common questions that might come up with using the screener document and how to complete it, as well as look at some basic ways to manipulate the document to make it a little bit easier for you and to make it quicker for while you're completing the documentation. So in your email at some point prior to the meeting that you're reviewing this, you've received an email from me, Dan Lisney, and I've sent you one that's been custom built for you with just your students in it. So in my email I have this sample teacher one that'll give us an example of what it looks like. It has a message that says please open the shared document and complete per your school administrator's directions, and wait for your school administrator's directions on when and how this will be completed. But basically once you get this, you'll open it up in sheets so that it looks something like this. And in this particular document, we have all the students that have been assigned to you. If you're an elementary teacher, it's all of your students in alphabetical order. If you're a middle school or high school teacher, all of your students are listed first by the class period, then they're sorted alphabetically so that you can go class period by class period and assign ratings as necessary. So the particular document that you have in front of you here on the screen, this just gives you an idea, or this just gives you the instructions for how to complete it. We're using a 0 to 4 point scale for all of these criteria that we're assessing students on. And then we also have the 6 different categories that you'll be assessing them on. And for further information on what these look like, each one of these has a link so that you can just follow the link and it will open up a separate document that has slides for each one of the different things you're scoring the students on. So for disruptive behavior, on slide 2, it will give you some examples of what it looks like. I'll go ahead and go to slide 2 so you can see it. It has a longer description of what it looks like, and then also some examples and non-examples. And there's a slide for each one of the categories. You can navigate either on the left side here, or by using your mouse wheel and just mouse wheeling down. This document, though, you can keep it open the entire time you're working with it, or you can also just go directly back to the document where we're going to be inserting the scores. So for those of you not as comfortable with working with the different windows, we now have 2 windows that are available to us for completing this project. The first window here would have your name on it, and it's your Google Sheet that has where the data is going to go, and then the second sheet has the reference material that you can refer back to. So as we go through this, one of the nice things about this is for most of your students, you will not be needing to fill anything in, because for most of your students, except in some isolated cases, you're going to be saying, well, all these students, none of these things are an issue for them. But for the students that are, you'll just go down to the student that you want to give an assessment to, or give a score to, and you'll use this 5-point scale, and you'll score them. And you only need to put scores in for those that are non-zeros. So for this student, this pretend student, I'm going to go ahead and just insert. I've typed on my keyboard and hit enter, and the scores have been entered. It automatically sums. You don't have to do anything over on these columns. It will do it for you automatically. And over here, I don't have to put anything in here, but if this student I was concerned about these areas, I would keep completing the numbers, and then I'd find the next student. I don't have to do anything for the other students that I'm not concerned about in this area, just for the students that I want to assess higher than a 0. So for this student, I'll go ahead and put 1 straight across, but then I'm going to make a mistake, and on this last column I'm going to try to put a 5 in for the student. And when I'm working on the computer, oftentimes I'll just go in really quick, and if I insert a score that's outside the acceptable range and I hit enter, an error will come up and it will tell you that you've inserted a score outside of the acceptable range. So I'll hit OK, I'll go back to this, and I meant to put a 4, so I'll go ahead and put a 4, and I'm done. Once I've gone through and done all of my students, the only thing I have to do is close the window. At that point, everything is saved and I'm done. I can close out the reference material window and I can get back to my other work. So I hope this was helpful, and of course if you have specific questions or if you get stuck at any point in time, do not hesitate to contact Research and Assessment for further help on this topic. Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful day.